welcome to Osseo High School for Northwest Suburban Conference Wrestling. It's an all-district 279 tri-meet here tonight, starting out with the first match of the evening as Maple Grove takes on Park Center. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox, and an exciting night in store here of wrestling. We'll have all three matches for you here on CCX, starting with the Crimson and the Pirates, and both teams with 3 wins and dual matches coming in. And definitely should be a very competitive match. Maple Grove probably has the 2 best individuals that we're going to see here tonight. A couple of ranked guys for them in Ben Schultz and Connor Peterson. But Park Center, their numbers are very strong. Just the group they bring in, they've got a very full lineup for varsity and JV, a very sophomore-dominated team. They have some experience. Their program's been getting better and stronger these last few years, and this first one really looks like it could be a toss-up match here this evening between the Crimson and the Pirates. And then that'll be followed up by Park Center versus Osseo, and then the nightcap is Maple Grove and Osseo to close things out here as they get the 279 teams all here on one evening. Well, stay tuned for a great night of wrestling. John Lauritsen will be joining me for the call of the matches. And again, we get started with Maple Grove and Park Center up next here on CCX. And welcome back here to Osseo as Maple Grove and Park Center getting set to face off in our first duel of the evening here. We've got the varsity and JV mats going side by side here for all 3 of these here tonight as the captains and coaches meeting up here. John Lauritsen joining me here tonight. And John, kind of an exciting thing for these teams to get, all 3 of the District 279 teams together all on one night. You don't have to, decide on bragging rights later on. It's like, okay, let's go at it tonight. And whoever does it, does it.
Yeah, some rivalries here, right? And what's really nice to see, as far as I can tell, especially with these first 2 teams, is it looks like for the most part they have full lineups, which nowadays you never know, right? But this is nice to see. Plus, looking over at the JV squads, it looks like they got a lot of wrestlers over there that are probably JV and even maybe a little bit younger, too, getting some matches, exhibition matches tonight.
Yeah, the coaches talked about that at Park Center. You said, first and foremost, what's
we got a full, it's going to be a nice packed house, too, it looks like, too. Lots of fans in here for this, for the District 279 Triangular. That's what we're going to call it, right? Anyway, that's kind of fun to see. These schools just a few miles from each other, and probably just a 5-minute drive to get to each one from where we're at right now. That's Maple Grove and Park Center from Osseo here. So, hey, good rivalries and full lineups, at least for the first dual meet, so this should be fun to see.
And, of course, we do have slightly altered weight classes this year, 1 fewer than there had been in years past as well, and which, kind of helps out in terms of filling out your lineups as well. And Park Center, when I came over and talked to Justin Miller, talking about, you just kind of gestured at, look at what our group in the bleachers. That's first and foremost. The most exciting part is we've been able to really get kids out and work with them and develop them and kind of go from there. And he said some of our younger, he said our sophomore group is definitely our biggest group, and that fills out a good chunk of their lineup. But they've had some experience and not maybe not all the way up from youth, but have at least kind of gotten their feet wet in terms of wrestling and are, feel good about putting them out there on the mat.
Yeah, for sure, and no better test than to go up against a couple of your rivals as well. But looking at some of these new weight classes, Jay, as you mentioned, it seems like every so often they change this. It was in the lowest weight class in the 80s was 98, in the 90s it was 103, 2000s it went up from there, 106, now 107, so that's a sign that, every generation's a little bigger, I think, but it's also good for the kids. You have But it looks like a pretty good dispersion of weights here now and whatnot. It always has kind of been, but I think it's gotten better over the years. They've kind of figured out there never used to be a 215-pound weight class a decade or so ago, and now there is, and in addition to a heavyweight. So that's good. Yeah, kind of looking at the coaches there, too. I know both these guys wrestled for their respective schools that they now coach, correct?
Yes, Troy Seibert there for Maple Grove, and he was their first state entrant back in the day, shortly after the school had opened as well. So
Justin Miller, I think if memory serves me, he did place at state for Park Center at one point during his wrestling career. I know that just kind of is a testament how long we've been calling these matches together, because I remember when he wrestled for Park Center. So that dates me, and it definitely dates you now, Jay.
It's not been terribly unusual to see kids of former athletes that John Jacobson and I have covered on the teams now. It's definitely become fairly common.
I'm going through the same thing a lot. So, yeah. But so both these guys made an impression as wrestlers. Now they're making an impression on these schools as head coaches and have been for a number of years. I know when we've done the Robbinsdale Rumble in the past, they have that trophy. I don't know if there's any there must be a trophy tonight, too.
Well, the last match, the Maple Grove Osseo, they call it the Druggemüller Cup.
Okay, that's right. That's what they call that.
And that'll be at stake in that last one.
And that's named after Dan Druggemüller, the
Ken.
Ken, right. Dan is his kid. Darren is his kid.
Dave
is his kid. I'll just keep going with D's. Eventually I'll get it right.
There's probably a Dan somewhere in the family. But
yeah. Ken Druggemüller, I remember him when I was in 9th grade at the St. John's Wrestling Camp. He was one of the instructors, so he was pretty legendary even back then.
Looks like we are about ready to go here at 107. It'll be Lincoln Rudek for Maple Grove, Andre Nelson for Park Center at 107.
Rudek, 8th grade, well, both the 8th graders here. Quick takedown for Rudek. One for that far ankle, trying to drive Nelson into the mat. Quick 2-0 lead here for the Maple Grove 8th grader, 4-9 on the season. Nelson 6-4. It's his second year in wrestling. Rudek's going to push him off the mat. They'll restart him in the center.
Often, of course, you see in the younger guys at these lower weight classes, so it's good to see guys who are, somewhat similar in terms of age and experience level, and they kind of get the night started.
Yeah, 2 8th graders squaring off right off the bat. Rudek again trying to break him down with that far ankle, kind of deep waist that he's got. Nelson doing a good job of staying on his base. I almost think with Rudek that was such a quick takedown. Does he let him go? And almost Nelson tried to reach back there for a second. He's trying to sit out.
Yeah, after that early takedown, we kind of stayed in the similar spot throughout, with Rudek not able to really come close to turning him, but at the same time, Nelson not able to get out.
Yeah, it'd be interesting, and kind of getting further down the first period here, but still enough time to cut him loose and potentially get another takedown to open up that score a little bit. But they go off the mat again. They'll restart in the center. And Nelson described for Park Center, coach says he's athletic, kind of small for the weight class. First year on varsity. Got 3rd place at the Edison tournament. 6-4 on the year, a winning record.
And Park Center actually won that Edison tournament this year, so.
Nelson doing a good job of just staying on his base. You can see I think he might get an escape. Nope, not quite. Rudek, nice job staying behind him, trying to ride him out. No riding time in high school, but this has been without any back points or turning Nelson all pretty dominant first period. 2-0 is the score, though. Only 2 points behind is Andre Nelson.
Rudek will defer his choice to the 3rd period. Nelson going to choose down, which normally is kind of standard operating procedure, but since he had trouble getting out, wouldn't have been surprised if he had not gone that. And actually Rudek is going to give him the escape here. He wants to go from the feet again and look for another takedown. So 2-1 now as Nelson gets on the board, courtesy of Rudek giving up that escape.
Yeah, Nelson will have a quick single, but kind of gets a little awkward there and gets caught. I'm guessing Rudek's going to get too near fall there. It looks like it, so.
Yeah, 2-2. Make it 6-1.
And a little surprised he didn't do that in the first period after about a minute because he's been so good on his feet early on here. 2 quick takedowns when he's been on his feet.
Gives up the escape there as he wants to work from his feet again. And I think maybe up the tempo a little bit, see if he can't widen his lead.
Rudek, the longer of the two wrestlers with that reach. Nelson did take a nice shot the last time they're on their feet, just not able to finish. Got a little sideways, and it cost him his 4-point move. There he takes a shot, but his head's kind of to the outside on a single. Let's see Rudek just pushing that head down, and he's going to come around for an easy 2 there to make it 8-2.
Yeah, nice job of sprawling and countering that shot. He knew exactly what he wanted to do there.
Reaching back there a little bit. Nelson trying to get to his feet. Other than getting caught in that 4-point move, he hasn't. It's been tough for Rudek to turn Nelson. Nelson has been very solid here on his base. He hasn't been able to get away necessarily, other than being cut loose by Rudek, but he also has not gone to his back. So trying to stand up here, trying to get his waist and legs out. Rudek trying to maintain control, and then gives up the escape 8-3.
Nelson's shot countered again there, and there's a quick 2 by Lincoln Rudek.
Yeah, makes it 10-3 now, 7-point lead.
Yeah, he's certainly in a spot where he could, at the very least, be looking at a major decision here, as he's going to have a 7-point lead after 2 periods.
Yeah, and I'm thinking he's going to start down. Okay. Try and get the escape and the takedown here if he can. Now Andre Nelson has a chance to ride him for the first time in this match.
Trying to throw a leg in there to keep Rudek tied up.
Trying for a crossface here as well. Tough when you're a smaller wrestler to hook up something like that crossface cradle when the guy's just a lot longer. As Park Center's coaches said, Nelson kind of small for his weight class, but that's not all bad. He'll grow into that 107-pound weight class here. And that's going to be a reversal. Almost an escape and a takedown, but they'll give him a reversal. They're 12-3. So we have the major decision now, Jay, for Maple Grove if things stay the way they are for the next minute, 20 seconds or so.
Rudek again trying to turn him, but couldn't quite, and Nelson will get an escape.
12-4. Now, for Park Center, Nelson may be thinking a takedown here for him, and we erase that major decision. At the same time, Rudek's thinking he's taken down Nelson a few times and would like to kind of tack onto that score.
Yeah, there's still a big sequence coming up in terms of team points here. Right now at 8, which would be a major decision. So, but if Nelson were able to get a takedown of his own, that would bring it back to a simple decision. Instead, here's Rudek, though, around for 2. Comes through with a clutch move there to make it a 10-point advantage.
Nelson took that shot from just too far away, and Rudek read it perfectly. Sprawled out, spun around, got 2 more. 14-4 now with 10 seconds left. Maple Grove is going to start this dual meet with Park Center ahead 4-0. 4 points for major decision for Lincoln Rudek.
Yeah, good workmanlike performance for him as he, kind of was in control throughout. He gave up, just some escapes and wasn't able to get a turn, but he did a good job from his feet for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Solid effort, good on his feet there, and some impressive takedowns, and just kind of taking what came to him. His opponent took a couple shots from pretty far away. He read that right, spun around, and was able to get a series of takedowns to really open that up.
It'll be Azuz Al-Ibrahim for Maple Grove and Alex Brennan for Park Center here at 1:14. And Al-Ibrahim trying to get behind, and now will.
Yep.
So he'll take an early 2-0 lead.
He's an 8th grader for Maple Grove. Brennan, a 9th grader with a 6-4 record. Al-Ibrahim, though, trying to throw on a near cradle.
And he's
being aggressive early on.
He's got just one win, but I think in certain cases you might see some guys have faced tougher competition than others too. So the records, well, good to know, are not always a huge indication of what we might see too.
Yeah, I like his aggressiveness early on. You can tell he's hungry to get a win here. Brennan took 3rd place at the Edison tournament. This is his 3rd year in wrestling for Park Center. Ibrahim doing a good job of sitting on that leg, kind of maintaining control against Brennan. He tried that near cradle early. There's a little arm bar he's trying to go for, it looks like a little bit. Brennan trying to sit out. With his hips out. See those guys fighting for hand and wrist control, and they go off the edge of the mat with 36 seconds left in the first period.
Brennan will still be down, although he was certainly showing signs of coming close to getting up and out there.
Yeah, it's early in the match, but 36 seconds left. A chance for both wrestlers to still score some points here could be the difference in the match in the end.
Able to bring him back down to the mat here. Brennan trying to stay on his base, but he's given up that left leg, and it's a little tougher to get out.
You can see Al-Ibrahim trying for like a quarter Nelson here. Kind of seems to have a game plan up on top, and for a wrestler with only one win on the season, he's come out really aggressive and trying for a couple different pinning combinations. Brennan trying to get out of there. He might give, that was close. Almost gave up some points there at the end, but 2-0. Al-Ibrahim over Brennan, Park Center.
Brennan will defer his choice, and Al-Ibrahim will choose down here to begin this second period, so we'll get a chance to see them in the opposite spots than much of the first period was contested. Coaches are saying, like, now you kind of get into the heart of the season. Once we get into January here, a lot of conference matches, people are starting to get to the weights that they're going to be at for postseason, and you feel like the early part is done now, and now we're really hitting it for January and February.
Yeah, it's weird to think about that. We're after the holidays, and now you're just about a month away from thinking about sections, so it's coming up fast. Brennan in control for the first time in this match as far as in the up position, as Al-Ibrahim chose down. Brennan from Park Center trailing 2-0 to the 8th grader from Maple Grove here at 1:14. There's a half by Brennan. He's got it in deep, but he doesn't really have Al-Ibrahim down on his base. There he has it again. Or doesn't have him flat like he'd like to have. There he kind of does. And deep waist. Trying to figure out what to do with Al-Ibrahim here is Alex Brennan.
It feels like both guys on top had an idea what they wanted to do, and they're working for it, but just not quite able to get a turn.
Yeah, Brennan's got an arm bar here. Looks like he's trying to hook up a double arm bar, at least he was for a second. He's got Al-Ibrahim kind of stacked up there for a second.
Too quick, though. No back points, as we saw the ref. A good look, but quickly waved off any potential near fall.
One thing that, and there he's kind of got him again. Oh, there's an arm bar now. He's got him in trouble.
This time there will be near fall points coming.
Yeah, Al-Ibrahim trying to fight this off for the final 6 seconds here or so. Be interesting to how many points he gives up. I think it's going to be 3. Let's see what the ref. He got a 2
Nope,
count.
2.
Okay, yeah, it wasn't quite 3 then. So, but that's enough to tie it up for Alex Brennan, the freshman from Park Center. A couple times he almost had Lieberheim stacked up in that period too, Jay. But finally the arm bar works for him to get some near fall.
So Brennan will be on top here to begin the third again, as they're even up at 2 apiece here. A good match, our second match, a 114-pound matchup here between Maple Grove and Park Center.
Yeah, Brennan must feel very confident in the up position here. He did turn him once.
Pretty much going right back to what he found success with late in that second period, too.
Yeah, he's got a double arm bar locked up here. If he can get off to his side, he could have a Lieberheim in trouble. He's got to get off to the side and run it, though. And he's going to get some back points here. And this is a tough position to be in for Lieberheim. He could be very close to being pinned here. That's a tough move right there. And he got it.
Brennan will get the fall for the Pirates. 4:39 the time, and PC gets on the board in style with a pin for Brennan.
Yeah, that first period controlled by Lieberheim, the 8th grader from Maple Grove, after a takedown, but then after that it was all Alex Brennan. That's a double arm bar. And even if Brennan were to sit out there too, he'd get that really tight, but he didn't need to do that. He had him stacked up pretty good.
Damian Seibert will wrestle for Maple Grove, and Kai Beatty for Park Center as we go to 121. Damian 4th in sections last year for the Crimson, and meanwhile Kai is 1-0 this year.
Yeah, both wrestlers locked up early on. And they're going to break apart, working back to the center. There's a shot by Siebert. Trying to finish. Let's see Beatty grabbing those ankles, trying to not give Siebert any leverage. Seibert still hanging on. You see this in college a lot, where the guy who's been shot on kind of goes for the feet, the ankles, the waist, creating a little bit of a scramble or maybe a stalemate. And they're just kind of rolling around here.
Yeah, now we'll get that stalemate call.
Yeah. Nice shot by Seibert, but not quite able to finish it. Beatty did a nice job of playing defense on that, grabbing those ankles, doing what he can to keep Seibert from finishing that takedown.
There's Dad and Coach on the Crimson bench.
Well, Beatty tried a little bit of, almost looked like a partial lateral drop without the throw, but he gets a takedown on Seibert. Only 2-0 lead with 20 seconds left here in the first.
Yeah, he had visions of that one going right to his back and into a pinning combination. It didn't quite work out that way, but he still gets the takedown to take a 2-0 lead for the Pirates.
Yeah, kind of a slow motion move, but it worked. And it looks like he's going to go into the second period up 2-0 is Kai Beatty, 10th grader from Park Center. He's kind of down a weight class now as of New Year's. It's his 5th year in wrestling, and he's undefeated on the season, Jay, at 1-0. And he'll start down here to begin the second. Seibert thrown on the legs right away. A little bit sideways, though. Trying to maintain control. Beatty trying to pop out the back door here to potentially get a reversal. Seibert hanging on.
I think he can feel he's not in a great position. He's just trying to maybe get a stalemate out of it, and meanwhile Beatty is thinking the other way that he's going to get a reversal, but he's not there yet.
No, but he's close. Seibert trying to hang on to that arm. Beatty trying to come out the back door to get that 2. He's close. He'll pop his head out. And you see Seibert's probably got his head locked up there pretty good, so he's not letting him get out of that.
Trying to make his way to the edge. Both teams asking
give him two there.
Yeah.
I tell you what, the effort there by Seibert was really impressive. Because I think what was happening was he had Beatty's leg or head caught between his legs, and I'm sure he was just squeezing and then trying to get off the mat at the same time. It was smart wrestling in that position to try and get out of there or get a stalemate or something, but ultimately Beatty gets the reversal.
Beatty up a little bit high here, it looks like, as well, which was the problem that Seibert ran into.
Seibert, a ninth grader from Maple Grove, 6 and 7. As you mentioned, Jay, I believe you said he got fourth in the sections last year, so he's got, some tournament experience there, and a couple spots away from being in the state tournament.
I think this one probably a match coming in that both teams thought they had a shot to get.
Mm-hmm. Beatty got him pretty flattened out right here. He's got that crossface on. Trying to work that leg. Ref trying to make sure he's not choking Seibert.
And we're going to have blood time. Seibert apparently bleeding a little bit here. So they almost made it to the end of the second period here. Still 4-0 for Kai Beatty of Park Center. Yeah, and you're right, by the look on Damien's face there, that was close to being across his throat there. He was struggling to...
Yeah.
And the referee, as you mentioned, got down for a real good look at that.
Yeah,
it's actually not the nose, it's from the lip maybe. Well, you get this time of year kind of dry, and I think that sometimes leads to the, either a nosebleed or even kind of dry, cracked lips a little bit.
Yeah, there's a fine line between, you'll see guys cross-face or go across the upper chest area to grab that shoulder, and you got to be careful you don't choke the other wrestler. You get in trouble for that, maybe give up a potentially dangerous point or something. So that second period finally ends now 4-0. Kai Beatty, sophomore from Park Center, in the lead. We'll start in the neutral position to begin the third. Seibert was in on a shot back in the first period, not quite able to finish to get a takedown. We'll see if he goes back to that. Beatty trying to trip him to the mat if he can. Kind of in that lateral drop position again, Jay, as Beatty. That's how he got his takedown before. It wasn't a throw necessarily, but he kind of finished it. And got the two in the second period.
A little interesting.
Pushing against each other here.
Yeah, you don't see quite as much upper body wrestling in the lower weights like this all that often, but that's where they've been kind of locked up in this period.
Yeah, I've seen Seibert take a shot in this match, but haven't seen Beatty. It's more like he kind of has an urge to go upper body, it feels like. Seibert in on a single again. And we kind of saw this in the first period where
illegal hold there, so Seibert will be awarded the point. He had a full Nelson.
Oh, did he have that? Okay. Well, I didn't see from our angle or vantage point here what happened, but Seibert awarded a point to make it 4-1, so he's still definitely within striking distance here with still 1:04 to go in the third.
I believe it's blood time here again. Seibert.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, not a full Nelson, obviously. There,
no. Crossing the legs, I think, on that. Is that what? I think that's what he called. I'm guessing that's what the potentially dangerous point was for. But we didn't get a chance to see that when it was happening live necessarily. Nonetheless, a minute to go, 4-1. Kai Beatty with Damien Seibert. Seibert's going to get two. Make it 4-3. He's got Beatty in a little bit of an awkward position. There's at least a 1 count. Is that enough to get back points? I don't think. Oh, we got another potentially dangerous.
Not a penalty point this time, but so it's going to stay 4-3, and Seibert, I think, is going to
smart
let him up
5-3,
5-3, but give him enough time to get a takedown again.
Right, yeah, 39 seconds to get a takedown. He's already taken him down. Now he knows he can do it. Beatty trying to play defense. Maybe not as confident as feet. Seibert in on a nice double. He's going to get. Oh no, he got caught. This is kind of a Cobra move. He's got him in trouble. That's a tight move to be in.
Beatty gets 3 near fall as well. So, wow, that was a big turn of events.
Yeah, we used to call that a Cobra, and it was a great move by Beatty. Did not see that coming. Seibert was close to not just tying that up, but potentially taking the lead. Good match, though.
Beatty will end up winning it 10-3 for the Pirates. Yeah, it looked like the momentum was with Seibert there, and he nearly had a takedown to tie it up, and then all of a sudden it wasn't.
A nice move by Beatty, but, a nice shot by Seibert. Not only could he have tied that up, he was about to take the lead, and every team seems like they have a different name for that move, but we used to call that the Cobra. You reach across the head, grab the other leg, and sit back, and they were just, you see a lot of pins in that position. So he's got him here. It looks like he's close to getting 2, and he reaches across his head, and he's kind of got him in a reverse cradle almost. Or reverse banana splits, if you want to call it that. And
it'll be Logan Buman for Maple Grove, and for Park Center, Zay Vang at our 127-pound match. You see the Pirates now up 9-4.
Yeah, with Beatty's win there now 9-4, as you said, Jay. Vang, the sophomore.
And Buman looked like he got poked in the eye there.
Yeah, he did. Vang, the sophomore from Park Center. Buman, the freshman for Maple Grove. They dinged up there 12 seconds in the match.
Oh, it's actually a headbutt. And they're going to come over and check. Of course, you're always worried about concussion. I thought it was more just getting hit in the eye, but it might have been a little bit of a...
He's got a bloody nose there, too, it looks like.
They're just in spot where the heads collided, or head colliding with the face of Buman. And you see right here, ooh, ouch. I imagine that happened a time or two to you over the years,
many
right?
times, yes.
I mean, it's probably in practice as much as in matches, too.
You'd see it, I feel like once a week where in practice, like you said, or something, where 2 guys would shoot at the same time and just bonk heads, and doesn't feel very good. Opens up the sinuses a little bit, too.
And obviously, trainer wants to be very cautious about potential concussion more than anything. I mean, obviously, any injury is no good, but you want to really check into that part of it.
Yeah, all for the better, too, nowadays with injuries you see in various sports. You got to make sure that the long-term ramifications of that aren't there, so... They did a thorough job here as the trainer to make sure Logan Buman is okay to keep going. Bloody nose they can control, but a head injury you can't. It'd be interesting to know what kind of questions are being asked here, but it's part of the protocol. It looks like I'm not good at lip reading, but it seems like he wants to stay out there and wrestle. Keep going. And this is kind of, we've got, looks like he's going to come back out there. So Logan Buman going to continue. That's nice to see.
Vang shooting again.
Yeah, Vang, aggressive wrestler. Vang, it's just his second year in wrestling. His coach calls him athletic and high-paced, and we're seeing that right off the bat, Jay, just 30 seconds into this. 5-4 record on the year as a sophomore at Park Center. If we have more blood, yes, we do.
Buman's nose from that early.
Yeah, you kind of see that cotton that they stuffed in his nose is laying right on the mat in front of us off to the right. Looks like the ref is marking more spots where there's blood. Oh, there it is. Yeah, Vang, an aggressive wrestler, kind of went right back after him again, and it's not hard to knock that out.
Yeah, and it's a tough sport. You see that your opponent might be a little bit injured. You go after it. I mean, I don't think nothing wrong with that.
No, I mean, he's going to stay aggressive no matter what. And see if this cotton ball stays in his nose this time, but that's hard to keep it in there once you have a bloody nose.
And the unfortunate part, though, for Buman is, eventually you might run out of that blood time, and you hate to lose a match on an injury default, but if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, it's not a good sport for trying to keep a piece of cotton in your nostrils. Maybe golf or something like that would be easier, but
there's not a lot of blood time in golf matches, though, I've noticed.
No, not at all. Not that I've seen yet. Back at it one more time here. We'll see if there was a takedown by Vang quick, too. But Buman right to his feet, 2-1. A span of about 3 seconds, we had our first points of the match. Vang, a pretty strong wrestler, trying to spin around. There's a head shock. He should get 2 out of that, too, making it 4-1.
Trying to throw a cradle on here, too.
Yeah, no cradle.
And Vang right by the Park Center bench, so they're close enough to give him instruction, and they told him pull him back on, and now he'll let Buman up.
Yeah, we might have another bloody, nice takedown by Vang.
Real nice ankle pick there.
Yep. Going back to that near cradle, he's trying for that. There's an escape for Buman. He lets him go. Whirlwind of points now.
Vang's tempo is high.
It is.
He'll get another 2, 8-3.
I consider him to be one of the most improved wrestlers.
And
Buman
has more blood, but he's getting up slower right now, too.
I hope he's all right. He's kind of shaken up here. He's hate to see him kind of going through this. Yeah, it's tough when you get hit in the nose early on, and the blood keeps coming out, and then it looks like he got up a little woozy. It looked like too. Hope he's all right here.
There's a possibility that this might turn into an injury default here. Trainer again. Talking with him, because you're right, he did, when he got up, he wobbled a little bit.
Osseo Vang, I mean, one thing that there's 3 things that stand out here when the coaches are writing up about him. They said he's very high-paced and athletic. Well, we've seen the high-paced and athletic side of this in this first period. Some nice takedowns by him, and they also say he's the most improved wrestler on the team, or one of them, and yeah. It's going to be a default here for Vang, and you hope Logan Buman's okay. I mean, That'll be 6 points for Park Center. And too bad they couldn't finish that match, but you definitely hope that Logan Buhlman is not hurt too badly.
So Vang will get the 6 for that, winning by injury default.
Yeah, tough to see. They're still trying to clean up Buhlman as well, but Zay Vang with a nice series of takedowns.
It'll be Ethan Hong for Maple Grove and Peyton Snyder for Park Center at 1:33. You see the Pirates have opened up the lead courtesy of that injury default. Hong in with a nice shot and not quite
trying to finish. He's close.
Now he'll get it.
It's the 2. Hong was 4th in the sections last year, 3rd in the sections the season before. That would have been as a 7th grader, 9th grader right now, 9-7 on the season. Snyder, a sophomore, 5-5 on the season. Been wrestling in the Park Center program for about 10 years. Hong with a quick 2-0 lead, and they're going to go off the mat.
Quite a contrast in body types. Their weights are similar, but Hong a much smaller, compact, strong wrestler, and Snyder longer and leaner.
Yeah, definitely. Hong is just going to give up the escape here. So he wants to start on their feet, and that's a 2-1 lead now for him. And I see why he's doing that, Jay. He had that quick takedown, so he feels pretty confident on his feet. He can get another one here, and he's coming around the side. See Snyder with his right leg, or right arm rather, trying to grab that right leg of Hong, kind of hanging on for dear life. Hong trying to come around for 2. Just over 30 seconds left here in the first. There's that 2 points. So 4-1 now he leads.
See if he's going to work for a pinning combination here, or if he might let him up again. Well, for the moment, hanging on. Yeah, this late in the period now, you probably don't just want to give up a free escape.
No, you don't want to do that. And he's had 2 nice takedowns in this match, so he's probably thinking he'll go in the second. And if it ends up being his choice here in the second, I would really be surprised if he didn't choose both up, neutral. He's going to defer and expect that in the 3rd period if there is a 3rd period. Snyder chooses up, so that's not the popular choice all the time, but he must be confident in the up position and somebody who can ride or work for pinning combinations. Oh, right to his feet. Snyder able to break him down. Snyder's got that leverage. And Hong to his feet again. And they go off the edge of the mat. 4-1, still the score. Freshman from Maple Grove leads. Maple Grove now down by 11 in the team score, so they can really use a win here.
Yeah, he kind of came out looking like he felt that we could use a big win.
Not able to get away from Peyton Snyder yet, but Snyder also not able to really come close to turning Hong yet. Hard to see so far what Snyder's trying to do on the up position, but every time Hong tries to get up, Snyder's got a good counter.
Yeah, he's really kind of just hanging on top, but has done enough.
Kind of maintaining hand control, and Hong working back to his base. There's a quarter Nelson that Snyder's trying. He's got it locked up, but Hong is very strong here. He's trying to fight that off. Got about 35 seconds left here in the second period. Hong again trying to get to his base, trying to get to his feet. Snyder breaking him back down. Snyder thinks about a crossface there for a second, throwing on the legs. There's a half Nelson he's trying for, but Hong able to counter. And that'll end the second period. Same score as the end of the first period, 4-1. Ethan Hong of Maple Grove leads.
Hong will choose both up as he was able to get some good work done from his feet here, and they're going to try it again to begin the third.
Snyder with the shot. Long arms, able to reach and grab the leg, but not able to finish. And now Hong gets onto the side there again. This is how he got those takedowns earlier. Gonna wearing Snyder out, grabbing that ankle, driving him into the mat. Come around, he'll get 2 here. That'll make it 6-1. And we'll see, Jay, now what he does, because he's got a 5-point lead. 8-point win gives you a major decision, 1 more extra team point. So then again, I mean, neither wrestler has really come close to going to their back in this match.
Yeah, if he wants to trade 2s for 1s, he's got to do it sooner,
have to do it now.
right away. It looks like maybe he's not looking at that strategy. And he hasn't dominated enough that I don't think you could just assume he's going to pile up takedowns either.
Right. What he's been really good at is takedowns on his feet and then also kind of controlling in this position. Snyder not able to do much.
I think both guys getting a little tired too, fair to say. They've been working hard throughout the match.
Yeah, he's trying for a cradle as Hong. Trying to lock that up. About 20 seconds left here in the match. 6-1, Ethan Hong leads. This would be a much needed win for the Crimson. And they go off with about 9 seconds left. So strategy the rest of the way here for Hong, I would say, is just to ride him out. Snyder up and out, try a Granby roll, try something. But you also don't want to give up 3 near fall here at the end and give up that extra team point either. Major decision. There's that roll he just tried.
And that, well, let's see. We've got a technical violation
there
at clasping.
So 6-2 now. He locked his hands without an arm or wrist in there, so that's illegal in high school wrestling. So he'll give him a point, making it 6-2 now.
And that is where we will end. So Hong will get the victory here for Maple Grove.
And gets 3 points back for the Crimson, 15-7 now after 5 matches. Park Center leads. Hong very good on his feet there in that match. Strong kid, able to kind of just muscle through a couple of takedowns there and get on the side of Snyder and just kind of wear him down, come around for 2.
Alex True for Maple Grove and Aaron Dungy will wrestle for Park Center here at 139.
Yeah, 2 wrestlers with winning records too, Jay. True, a senior at 13-10 for Maple Grove. Dungy 8-2 record, captain for Park Center, 3rd-year wrestler, considered also to be a very improved wrestler on the team. He won the Edison tournament, did Aaron Dungy of Park Center. He's got a wizard on True there. True trying to come around to get 2. He's got it, and he's got a near cradle. He's got him in trouble. That should be some back points there. He got 2, so a 4-0 lead for Alex True.
Dungy up and out for the escape, make it 4-1.
Now Dungy He's got a long reach there, takes a shot himself. True able to sprawl. Then he goes back to that kind of near cradle that worked the first time. He's going to get another takedown, and now he's got Dungy in trouble. That's a pin or close to one. Wow, you can see Dungy's left shoulder looks like is... Oh, it was hanging in there for a second, but he gets the pin as Alex True of Maple Grove, and a big pin for Maple Grove. Impressive match there for True. Takedown, you can see he's got his right arm still around the head. He keeps it, grabs the left leg. That's a near cradle. So he goes right from the takedown into a near cradle. And he doesn't give up on it either. Both times, this last time especially, he hangs on to it and really locks it up tight. Dungy fought it off for a little bit, but not able to get through the period. So a pin for Alex True, the senior from Maple Grove.
Connor Peterson for Maple Grove, and it'll be Griffin Ford wrestling for our Park Center. Peterson is a stud, 3-time state qualifier. He's 10-2, and he's ranked number 6. So Maple Grove certainly looking for a pin in this one.
Yeah, quick takedown for Peterson here too. And then he wants to go right back to his feet. In on a single is Peterson. Another takedown, 4-1. And he's going to lock up. Kind of tilting him here. He's got a little bit of a leg drag going on. He's going to get 3 near fall out of this at least. Not really in a position, though, to pin Ford. And there it is. That should make it 7-1 now, right away for the sophomore from Maple Grove. That's a deep half he's got on there. He's going to really have Ford in trouble here, it looks like. Ford trying to bridge. And that's a pin for Peterson. Impressive win.
And it's number 100 for Connor Peterson as well. As a sophomore, getting to that 100 mark as he gets Ford in the 145-pound match.
Yeah, that's what you expect out of your better wrestlers. He came out on fire, too. He took 5th at state last year, so he's a confident wrestler. And a couple impressive takedowns and a nice pin for the Crimson.
Go to 152, Jaden Waste for Maple Grove, Jackson Sanders for Park Center. Jackson, one of the captains for the Pirates, at 7-3 record, and this Jaden Waste is at 4-4. Was 5th in sections last year.
Sanders, sophomore, Park Center. He's also a football player and lacrosse player. And he's going to have 2.
Sanders taking the early 2-0 lead.
And Waste with an escape now, so 2-1. A head shuck there for Sanders, and he's going to get 2 in that position. I'll make it 4-1. And an escape for Waste, 4-2. There's a shot for Waste, trying to switch to a double. He's able to do it. That ties the matchup.
I think any thought for Sanders that he was just going to dominate. Waste was like, I got a little bit something myself here too.
Yeah, got in a nice shot there and able to finish. Ties it up at 4. Sanders trying to sit out. There's a chin drop for Waste. Nothing doing there, though. 20 seconds to go in the first. Sanders trying to get to his base. Waste trying to maintain that wrist and hand control. There's a half Nelson. Able to break Sanders down. And Sanders 7-3 on the year and a captain for Park Center. And he will elect to choose down to begin the second. Sanders trying to stand, get up on both feet here. Waste at this point wants to wrestle on the mat if he can. There's a roll by Sanders trying to roll through. Didn't get the roll he wanted, but he's in position to get some points. Now in freestyle, that would have been 2 points. That was a front headlock, but he finishes it off and gets 2 nonetheless. On a reversal, 6-4 now. Jackson Sanders leads for the Pirates.
Good flurry of activity. Went for it a second time and ended up kind of succeeding.
I tried that roll there, it looked like. Side roll, and almost had that. But it got him out of the down position anyway, and he was able to finish off the reversal. Waste trying to get up to his feet. Does a nice job. Oh, a nice toss. Both guys. Both wrestlers really strong here. You see some of the football player, football background in this match. It's Greco-Roman wrestling there for a little bit.
Rolled through, so no points out of it. It was sure exciting for
still
a moment.
Still fun to watch. Yeah, no points. 6-4. Still Jackson Sanders leads.
The good part is they wound up on the other mat rather than on the gym floor.
That's
there
true.
Too.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Some of these mats aren't big enough for some of these guys. Sanders maintaining control with just over 40 seconds left in the second. 6-4 lead, riding tough. Waste trying to get to his base. See if he can work for an escape or reversal here before this period is up.
You can see the effects of that flurry of activity. Both guys' pace is slowed a little bit here. And we do get a stalling caution on Waste.
And no sooner does that happen than he looks like he's going to get a reversal.
Wow.
That's the motivation he needed. 6-6 now. 3 seconds left, and that's how it'll be going into the third. Tied up.
I like that reaction to being called for stalling there.
Call him for stalling, and then as soon as he does, Waste is like, you know what, I'm not. So that's a nice flurry of activity. That was a nice throw by Waste, and also nice by Sanders to roll through.
Sanders will give up the escape point, so Waste actually takes the lead 7-6. Sanders more comfortable working from the feet. And sometimes if that's where you want to get to anyway, it makes sense to just do it right away, not waste any time.
Yep. They're trying to pull Waste by him, but ends up getting caught and gives up the takedown, so 9-6. But you can see Sanders really, he tried that roll.
I think this would be big for Maple Grove, but not that Waste isn't a good wrestler too, but I think Sanders probably expected he was going to win this one, and he still might.
He's trying that roll, but he sees that coming, and every time Sanders grabs that arm to try and do a roll, you can see that Waste sets up a post and isn't letting him quite do it. Just over a minute to go. Been a good match here.
Pirates bench trying to get Sanders fired up to get up and out here. He's still definitely got time, but now finds himself trailing after leading for much of the match.
Yeah, and this is the time too where both wrestlers, third period, you're tired, so you gotta reach down deep and finish this off in a positive way. Jaden Waste has wrestled a really nice match. Sanders trying to get up and out. He's at least going to get an escape to make it 9-7. So now a takedown for him would tie it up, and a takedown for Waste would probably just about end this match. So these last 35 seconds, obviously very big. There's a nice shot by Waste, double leg. Beautiful takedown.
Coming through in the clutch. He's up 11-7.
Really nice takedown by Jaden Waste. Nice double leg in deep, picks him up off the mat. And as a wrestler, that's tough too, because now you're flattened out. Kind of trying to hang on here is Waste. He's got a near cradle, but if he stays in this position, he can just work the clock now.
And he will get an 11-7 win, and a good one for his team.
Good match by both wrestlers. Jaden Waste, be one of Park Center's better wrestlers, wrestling a pretty smart match and some beautiful takedowns. That's how you shoot a double leg right there. Boom, in nice and deep. And that's a strong wrestler he took down too, who was pretty good on his feet. So big win there for Maple Grove.
At 160, Thomas Schlangen will receive a forfeit. So Maple Grove wins. Park Center does not send an opponent out at 160. They'll make it a 28-15 lead for the Crimson.
Now wrestling at 172 pounds for Maple Grove, Noah Fox, and for Park Center, Nate Amundsen.
Noah Fox and Nate Amundsen will wrestle here at 172.
Fox, a junior for Maple Grove, 7-4. Amundsen, a senior for Park Center. He's 4-5. He's a first-year wrestler for the Pirates. Now, team score-wise, too, Jay, it wasn't that long ago. It was 15-6. Park Center is in the lead, but 22 unanswered points now for Maple Grove. And you can see Amundsen trying to get a double leg there. Park Center coaches say he's very strong. And we might have some blood time here again. It's been a few matches since we've seen that.
Fox of Maple Grove bleeding a bit.
You got coaches and referees looking to find the blood, make sure it's not lingering on the mat. Maple Grove kind of lists what I thought was interesting too, Jay. Well, we got some blood time. Schlangen, who just got a forfeit, and Fox are both listed at 160 and 172. So I think what the coaches there do is weigh them both in at 160 and then go with the best matchup or whatever they can do. They feel they can potentially get the most team points out of this. So
well, and I think actually it's Park Center that also. They said, okay, we don't think we probably can beat Schlangen there, so we'll forfeit to that one and then maybe take our chances in this next one.
Yeah, Schlangen was 14-9 team captain, just one place away from state last year. He got third, so he's a junior. He got that forfeit. Hard to see where the blood happened. I don't know if it happened right there, if he hit his face on the mat.
He could feel it coming out then anyway as he reached for his nose, and that was actually a pretty good shot, but just off the edge, so we stay at 0-0 here.
Unlike Logan Bowman, who we saw earlier in the match, we were concerned he had a head injury. We're not sure if that really happened. Hopefully he's okay, but it looks like in this case Noah Fox just dealing with blood.
Yeah, when you think about that, Maple Grove, at least right now, overcoming that, kind of unfortunate loss because of the injury. As they have won 5 matches in a row, and as John said, a big comeback. They were down 15-4 and now lead 28-15.
And the ref stopped the match there for a second. It looked like Nate Amundsen was in a pretty good position potentially to score points, but there was I think that was, I missed what he said there. Was that a potentially dangerous of some kind? It might have been. And you can see Amundsen, he is a strong kid. He's got that underhook there and the head trapped. Yeah, that's the second time. Look like Amundsen was in position to score, but it must be more blood they're dealing with.
Couple more matches coming up here tonight, and we got some boys hockey and more wrestling next week for you.
Yeah, this is a fun little triangular, though, when you have the District 279 schools. Not many sports you can really do this with. But wrestling is kind of designed for dual meets, and when you have three teams competing against each other, triangulars like this, and you have three high schools in this school district. It's a good-sized school district, but on one night they can all battle each other and see who comes out on top. Of course, Maple Grove and Osseo have that Drogamiller trophy on the scorers table that they'll be wrestling for.
This Jacob Hansen in there for Park Center had announced it wrong on the PA, I think so. Jacob Hansen is, as we said, the couple guys that weighed in these similar spots. So it is Fox, but he's going against Jacob Hansen, one of the captains for the Pirates.
And his record is 8-2. Sophomore captain. He actually won the Edison tournament, so another strong wrestler here for Park Center, but who's also a good football and lacrosse player as well. So three pretty physical sports for Jacob Hansen. Nonetheless, after one period, no score between him and Noah Fox of Maple Grove. Fox, again, a junior with a 7-4 record who continues to have a lot of issues with blood. Unfortunately,
it's frustrating, I think, for both guys.
Yeah,
he doesn't want that to happen either. But Park Center, they're feeling like it's kind of wrecking the momentum of Hansen a little bit too.
Yeah, it's tough on both sides, like you said, Jay. I mean, been on both sides of that way back in the day, and we just want to kind of get going, but. It's physical sport at times, and this is evidence of this tonight. We've had a couple different matches where we're dealing with blood time. And like you said before, it's a dry time of the year. And I know some wrestling coaches will tell their wrestlers, like, hey, in January especially, put a humidifier in your room at night. So you get some, it sounds funny, but you get moisture in your nose, and it's not so dry. And but sometimes it just can't be helped. Jacob Hansen, a physical wrestler for Park Center, and this is part of that. It's tough to wrestle with cotton in your nose, too. I've been there before as well. It's not as easy to breathe.
Yeah, you feel like you're getting about half the amount of air as usual.
Yep, you do. But still, scoreless match. Anybody's match right now.
And guess what? Blood time again.
Yep. Yeah, unlike an earlier match, it's with Noah Fox. It's just blood he's dealing with. It looks like there's not really a potential head injury here. He's just dealing with, and you can see Hansen's got blood on his. Yep, they're gonna get that for him. Hopefully.
Well,
he's got it on his neck and on his face there a little bit.
The tough part is, too, it's hard to, sometimes it's just hard to stop it. It isn't nothing that he's doing wrong or that they're not doing right in terms of treating it or anything. Sometimes it just gets flowing and it's hard to stop it. And obviously there's time constraints in place for how much blood time you get. And you'd hate to see him lose the match because of that, but it's also just kind of a safeguard that's put into the rules, because you can't, obviously be doing this forever.
And for as long as the sport has been around, that's a good point, but for as long as the sport has been around, they've never been able to find a good way to prevent this. I mean, I know there's masks out there. You'll see wrestlers wear everyone, so that's mostly for like a nose injury or something. This is just a bloody nose, and it's not going to stop during this match. They just got to make sure they can clog it up. So I feel bad for Noah Fox, because at any moment this could come out again, but he might get a takedown here. He might score the first points. Not quite. Hansen's got that leg. He's hanging on.
There's
there it is. First points of the match after all that blood time for Noah Fox, and he's got a cradle locked up. Hansen trying to peel that off. Fox is close. He's got to tilt it back a little bit. Looks like he's got it locked up. Sort of, not quite.
Trying to adjust that grip so he doesn't lose it entirely, but then get himself in a little better position. But Hansen fought it off.
Yeah, you see crossface cradles a lot, so that arm can't get in the way and interfere with you locking it up, but he didn't quite have that on that time. Still close to turning Hansen. And even after all that, all the blood time and everything else, Noah Fox now leading 2-0 with 30 seconds left to go in the second.
Referee taking a good look, because there's still blood on the nose of Fox. And now they are going to call again. Is more coming out? They never really got it 100% cleaned up where you couldn't see blood at all.
And Hansen's got some there on his right shoulder from Fox, so you feel bad for him too. He's trying to wrestle a match here, and
and I wonder too if it isn't going to impact his strategy a little bit, thinking like, there's a chance I won't make it through the end of the third period. I better get something done here.
And they've messed with blood time over the years on what you can do in injury time and stuff. I know when I was in high school, there was a state championship match between Brad Pike, who was a really good wrestler from Hayfield, Minnesota, and David Peterson, who was a really good wrestler from Fulda Slayton, Minnesota, and southwestern Minnesota. And they had Peterson, I think, was the one who had the bloody nose, and it was several minutes in a state championship match of just blood time. Every time they'd start, it was just like this, and it would take forever to get it cleaned up and cleared off and everything else. So this is what you have to do. You have to make sure it's off of every part of the wrestler's body, because you gotta think in terms of safety and everything else too.
And see, both of these guys are a little frustrated with it, as I said. Neither, you don't want it to be happening, but.
Hansen trying to sit out right away, back to the action here finally, and Fox trying to throw on the legs.
Under 10 to go in the period here. Fox, Hansen.
And a little high.
Yeah, just about out, but not quite. Fox holds on.
Nice defense by Fox, yeah. He almost gave up some points. Fox will start down. And we're finally into the third period here. Fox leading 2-0. Whoever wins this match deserves to win this match, because they put up with a lot of time over the wastebasket dealing with blood, or just waiting for the other wrestler to deal with the blood. So
it's been a good one, a good competitive match all the way through.
It has. And we're going to get another stop for a bloody nose. And there you can see the blood pretty clearly on the match there. Or on the mat, rather. You can just drops of it.
And you could see, too, that Noah, feels the urgency of the time part of it. So he's going to hustle over there. And
I think this is the fourth time they've had to stop this match now, right?
And sometimes they have the blood time up on the clock. They're not doing that here, so we don't know how much is left, but it certainly could come into play.
And this is the part of coaching you don't see very often. Looking for blood on a wrestling mat.
Yeah,
making sure it's cleaned up, making sure the wrestlers are cleaned up.
Real glamour of the job, right?
And glamour of the job, exactly.
Yeah, and for Fox, he's actually got the slight lead, too. You'd hate to see him lose, because the blood time runs out, but again, that's all part of it.
Hanson, a good record, one of the better records for Park Center on the season, 8-2. See if we can get through this last minute and a half or so with no more stoppages. Fox probably content with just getting those seconds to go off. Blood starts coming out of the nose again, and they got to stop again. That's just tough. Hanson not able to do a lot in the up position here, though. Of course, if he's going to try the takedown, let him go angle and rack up the points that way, he's going to have to do it now. He's got just under a minute now.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that's going to come into play for either guy here. We got under 50. The good news, I guess, for Fox is his nose is seemingly staying blood-free for the moment.
So
now
far,
Hanson, looked like he was going to cut him loose. Brings him back down hard, but that doesn't score any points.
It does not, and then and there he gives up the escape. So 30 seconds left.
3-0 for Fox. Hanson needs a takedown and more.
Fox tries a shot. It's Kelly position here. He's going to come around and get 2. So 5-0.
And now Fox, I think, would be smart to keep his face hidden.
Yeah, I was just thinking the
referee.
same thing, Jay. I was thinking that you could see the ref is probably looking at that as well. The official is definitely earning his money tonight as well, trying to make sure there's not blood getting everywhere. So.
And Fox will grid out a blood-filled win here, 5-0 for the Crimson.
Well, props to Fox and also Jacob Hanson and the referee for getting through that match, and all the coaches that clean up the blood too. That's frustrating to deal with that, but a big win for Maple Grove nonetheless. I don't know how much blood time we had all told, but it's been quite a bit.
Dylan Buchanan for Maple Grove and Samuka Kana for Park Center here at 189.
Buchanan with the takedown. And he's going to let him go. 2-1 right away, about 15 seconds into this match. Buchanan, a freshman. Kind of freshman as well. He's got a takedown, potentially back points. Buchanan really trying to fight that off. Doing a pretty good job so far, but he's going to have that weight on him now. Buchanan really trying to get that pin. You can see Buchanan bridging, but not enough. Gives up the pin.
So Kana will break the string of Maple Grove wins at 6 as he gets a quick pin for the Pirates to pull them back within 10 points. So still mathematically in it as Park Center with a couple matches to go. However,
Buchanan really trying to bridge in that match. He not quite able to hang in there, but Buchanan with the pin, and as Jay, you said, mathematically keeping Park Center.
However, we've
yes.
got Ben Schultz coming up 6th in state last year and ranked number 4 for the Crimson, and he's facing Delvin Bliddy. So you certainly would expect that Schultz might come out and take care of business
nice
here.
fireman's carry right there. And he's going for the pin right away, it looks like, if he can get it. And we might have more blood time, it looked like. Imagine that, we got some more. I think this is a lip issue, it looked like. But a nice fireman's carry by Ben Schultz, which you would expect from him. He's 21-1. He was first in the sections last year. As you said, Jay, 6th at state. And ranked pretty high in the state again this year. 21-1 is the junior from Maple Grove, the team captain. Blidi, a sophomore, 2-4 on the season. Just his second year in wrestling, but he has wrestled freestyle, and he was a varsity nose tackle football player for Park Center. I see a lot of these guys, too, it looks like, on Park Center. Also play lacrosse. Another good sport for cardio and everything that comes with that.
Still some blood being cleaned up there. Justin Miller, the Pirates coach.
This might be the longest dual meet we've ever done by the time it's all said and done. We haven't had a lot of pins, and the ones we have had haven't happened necessarily right off the bat. There's been, I guess the last match was a first period pin, but it wasn't a 10-second pin. So we've had, all these matches have gone the distance, or they've lasted for a while at least.
Schultz probably would like to change that here, though, as he came out and got that quick 2, and see what he can do to put this one away. And we got more blood time right away.
Blidi again is bleeding himself. Maybe that is his nose. I thought he got hit in the lip the first time that happened.
No, I think you're right. At least the first time it was.
Now, Wastebasket getting a lot of work tonight.
Yeah, they do put it in the nose this time, so.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like a head injury or anything, so as long as that blood stops, they'll get back at it here. I don't think he got that escape. He was trying to roll out there, and the ref stopped it before it happened.
Primarily seems like it had been more Maple Grove guys who had been bleeding earlier. This time it's the Pirate.
Schultz leading 2-0. Still a minute 20 to go in this first period. He's trying for that arm bar. Blidi doing a nice job early in this match, just moving, just not letting himself. Tries to roll through there. That was kind of a nice way to earn an escape there against a really good wrestler.
And let's see, do we have more blood time perhaps?
You can see it kind of rolls through there.
Yeah, good job. I mean, if nothing else, he showed Schultz, I'm here.
Yep.
I'm here, I'm competing.
Not real happy that he's got to deal with that again. I don't blame him.
No, you can see, I mean, everybody's, a little frustrated, but also kind of you just have to laugh a little bit too. I mean, it's happened on both sides now and in multiple matches.
Yeah, 3 matches we've been dealing with blood now, and back-to-back matches here as well, I believe.
I believe you may, I mean, obviously sometimes it's just contact to the nose or mouth, but I think the part about being dry, I think does factor into it. You certainly see this more right in the heart of winter.
I feel
Even
like
though it hasn't been super cold on,
no.
You still have your heat on.
Exactly, yes. You have your heat on, and that's kind of what I think does it, obviously. But it hasn't been real cold. We haven't had a lot of snow. It's been dry still, though, and the furnace is running. That's what happens. But plus, if you're in a school all day where they have the heat on, that's the same kind of thing. So we'll see how far we make it down the match here now. Still a minute to go in the first. Oh, Schultz kind of waiting on that. In good position to get 2. Not quite able to do it yet. There's 2. Oh, he's got Blidi kind of, for a second anyway, had him stacked up. Kind of working that arm. He's got an arm bar. Blidi, a strong kid. He's really trying to fight this off, but really bridging on his neck there. Does not want to get pinned. You can see it. Schultz has got him pretty tight there, though. Armbar. Politi trying to fight it off, 15 seconds to go. And then he got it.
Schultz did a good job adjusting there to not let him kind of kick and back and forth. And will end up getting the pin.
Dealing with more blood time. That match will seal it for Maple Grove in the dual meet. Still a match to go, though. Yeah, he's worked that arm bar on a very strong wrestler there. Ben Schultz just kind of doing what he does, right? I mean, that's he and Connor Peterson, kind of the top two wrestlers on the team, both ranked fairly high at state, and they count on getting pins from those guys most matches.
Chase Stein will go for Maple Grove. Mackay Buckingham for Park Center, and then what could be an interesting one. They both have 6 wins so far this year.
Stein was 5th in the sections last year. Buckingham also a football player for Park Center.
Don't have the weigh-in sheets, but I would say pretty legitimate heavyweight size-wise too.
Yeah, definitely. Buckingham in on a single leg, trying to finish it here. Doesn't quite have it yet, and he won't get it. So he was in a good position there for a second.
Not something you see terribly often in the heavyweight ranks either.
No, and a break in the match without blood time, so that's kind of nice to see as well. Hey, you're right, Jay. You don't see a lot of heavyweights that shoot single legs and double legs. You don't see a lot of that. Maybe for obvious reasons, because if it doesn't work, the guy flattens out on you. He in on a single again, not able to finish. It's Buckingham, but he's going to give up 2 here, it looks like. He does. Fine's got a half Nelson, too. He's not quite able to utilize. There's a crossface, but for a second he had that locked up. Fine trying for a corkscrew here on a crossface. He's going to turn Buckingham. He's got him in trouble.
Lost his grip a little.
Kind of a reverse half here is what he's working for. He's got him in trouble. Buckingham really trying to get out of this, though, the best he can, but he's in trouble. That'll be a pin. Pin for Thine. Kind of puts the exclamation point on it for Maple Grove. Buckingham in on a leg there a couple times. Thought he might get the takedown early on, but unable to counter that. Gets the pin for the Crimson.
So Park Center did win 3 of the first 4 matches, went up 15-4, but it was almost all Maple Grove from that point on, and they pull away to win it 43-21 here in the first match of the night in our tri-meet here in District 279. So that'll do it for this first one, and coming up, our second and third matches, it'll be Park Center versus Osseo in match number 2 coming up on CCX.